Hey guys, what's cracking? Today I have a short video. I promise it is a short one. I just thought I would go over because there was a talk of a potential release Thursday. It's Thursday night for me, so it will likely be tomorrow morning. Quick look at the price. We're seeing 12.7 cents for Atlas. So Atlas just under that now. You see it's obviously spiked up, down, up, down. I do think that should go lower. But of course, not financial advice. Do your own research. Keep eyes on it. Polars we're seeing at $8.60. It still amazes me why they're flipped around. I believe Polars, for me personally, I thought initially that this would be a much more valuable coin. But yeah, people are still keen on the Atlas. We were told potential use cases of these coins by end of year. Keep in mind, I mentioned in the last video that you can get IDs for ships. So you can monitor ships. My radium's a bit dead, hence showing FTX for the coins. So I will go over some of the tweets that made attention to me this week. Now there was plenty of stuff that's coming out. Keep in mind we've got a grape contest on still. And even on Grape for the mention, we just had a launch this week. It was absolutely fucking amazing. If you're not a member in the Grape protocol for Star Atlas, I'd recommend it. It's one of the things that actually drew me in to Grape before I went right down the rabbit hole. Where am I? It's all changing. So the old Barndog's got to learn where everything is sometimes. So Atlassian writing contest. Several. So there's a couple more since I've looked last time, but this, I'm not actually sure how long this is going for. It doesn't say here. Pinned on the 9th of the 9th. Get in, get it done. So it's free to enter. You need to have a ReBirth poster or a ASF poster and 3 big judges for it. So a chance to actually write law for the game that could last for the entirety of the game. I'm not personally a writer. I'm only half of it, half a content creator at the moment. So, I just think shit like this is just an amazing way for the community, which is what Grape is all about. It's a good way for you guys to get in, have a bit of fun, and potentially get some prizes, potentially get something in the game, which would just be amazing. I'll mention some things off of my list here. So there was a few points I missed in my last video. One of them was that Star Atlas's intention was not to have a flippers market for the ships. So I'll try and get a bit more used to having things flip through for this. So they never wanted to create a flippers market. We saw from the first GAO release, people bought shit. The epic or legendary fighter was 9,000 or 9,100 and I saw numbers of up to 20 grand. And that was never their intention. So you have to think we've been told also come the minigame release that there's basically a suggested retail price, MSRP, I think they call it. So suggested retail price, this is the price that Star Atlas have put on an item. So if you've got a $9,000 ship and a $3,000 ship and you go and do a mission, ship missions will be one of the first things launched in minigame. The $9,000 ship should get 3 times the reward of the $3,000 ship. So that's a very base way of looking at it, but there's a reason why they've done that. They've done their calculations on it. They've done their economics paper on it. They are trying to give a fair return for your assets in the game, which is one of the reasons why they're doing it ship missions first. So that was one of the things. Now, you are going to see the order books cleared potentially. So if people have got up orders before a next mission, the next third GAO release of ships, that might not necessarily be tomorrow, they will purge the order books, so then release the item. So that's going to give everybody a chance to have a good crack at that, because we've been in crypto long enough. There's still a lot of learning for me in this space. We've been in it crypto long enough that, those few seconds do make a difference. Absolutely, 100% do make a difference. You are still going to see big orders from guilds, because that's what we've got to think about, is that this might be guilds getting in there and YGG buying it for the guilds. It might be Interstellar Alliance. It might be the Metaverse Nomads Rome. It might be guilds buying it for their core that couldn't make it and they know how to do it. They've got people that are keyed in there and more intelligent than people like myself, and a lot quicker, better internet. I work away in mining in Western Australia currently, and for me, the internet can be dodgy as fuck. So good old Telstra for Australia, thumbs up. But the internet can be absolutely atrocious, and that will mean the difference between me getting a release or not. It's just plain and simple. So I need to coordinate with my friends, someone that's prepared to be available at that stage, and we need to communicate. A guild is no different, but they might buy 20,000 ships. Skins. So there was a big release of FTX skins. They got snapped up very quickly. Radium has their launch going through the Polus pool. So it's Polus, not USDT. So it's Polus and Ray. It was 0.0001 for the Polus pool and 0.01 for the Atlas pool. So that was very expensive to buy into later in the night. So I'm talking less than 12 hours later. So if you see these tweets, have them on auto mention and auto, as soon as they're updated, bang, you get the notice. Try and keep a hold of places like Star Atlas, the Cantina in Grape. I put that up straight away, yet I wasn't smart enough to realize, holy shit, I should go and buy one myself. Should have got it, should have got there, but I missed it. It happens. But at least I know I did my part. I put it in the Alpha channel. I put it on the Cantina to give other people that rely on these kinds of information hubs to get a chance to buy those early. And I hope that someone managed to get it because I put it in there. That would be awesome. I will mention again, Metaverse Nomads. These guys are awesome. Three old guys talking about Star Atlas. It is really cool, but they know their shit, and they go through a lot of the ships. They talk about little things, bits and pieces. I learn a lot from them. I do highly recommend it if you've got a couple of hours, even if you're not looking at it and just listening to it as a podcast style. Because I went and got YouTube Premium for me, I can download content now and soak that up a little bit more. But this was a really good one to learn about ships. They talk about it, have a bit of a laugh and stuff, and it is really cool to listen to. Wags did mention in one of the interviews I listened to recently, there's 20 to 25 active guilds at the moment. So if you are looking for a guild and you haven't found one at the moment, I very early linked in with Interstellar Alliance, and I've loved my time there. I love the people. I'm not as busy in their Discord as I could be, absolutely not. But I always try and make myself available if I'm tweeted, mentioned, and I do get in there and chatter with the lads at times. And obviously, like I've been in it from the start. It's cool for me, but there are other options, and it's not necessarily Metaverse Nomads. Metaverse Explorer, who's also in Grape, he's got a different guild as well, and I hope to talk to him and hear about it from him on a live stream. That's something I'm planning on doing, and we will be discussing Star Atlas as well as other Grape, other Solana. Fuck, I missed it. Other Solana games. Was meant to bid on that. All right. Cool. I'm enjoying this. So let's go into some of the Star Atlas stuff, and then I'll go through tweets as a reminder. They've obviously updated their website. You've got to keep an eye on this. They talk about they're starting soon. Leaderboards available now. Marketplace available now. Inventories there. Faction selection. This is going to be coming soon, of course. Super important. Permanent. Your race you can change. Make sure you have an understanding about this with your guild or DAC, and get into it. Think about it. Think about your play style. Think about your guild. Are they going to be short term? Are you not sure whether you're going to stick with them? There's so many different things. Think about these kinds of ones. This one here, usernames, super duper important. This one here, I cannot stress that I'm not in agreement that this was a great way of doing it. The biggest gripe I have with this is that it's going to create a challenge for some people who have possibly been sniped and have had to pay for an expensive bone feeder Solana domain name. It's disappointing that there couldn't be some kind of a please pay an additional $20 and we can link the fact that you've created and paid for this service on Solana before. That was, to me, was probably one of the disappointing. Streamers, popular names, even big community names, Swagner, Santi, there's going to be all these Atlas Polus, people taking these names. That's cool, Atlas Polus, but you've got these people that might now have a huge popular name, and they may end up getting shirt fronted and people trying to just bid them up for shits and giggles. To me, that's not that great an option. but this is what they're going with. This is what we've got to work out. So it looks like it's similar to a bone feeder thing. Usernames are ownable and tradable. To possess a specific username, a player will place a starting bid on that username. After a period of 7 days of public exposure, the auction will close to the highest bidder of the username of that username token. So that means public exposure. People can bid on it. People can bid people up. Prices will rise. There'll be some, no doubt, websites, articles, things of people paying ridiculous money. One of the lads on my team tried to get Enterprise.sol. That got bidded out. So yeah, this is important. This may be what's released tomorrow. It might not be. But keep in mind, if you want to get a special game name, you need to put in time, effort. You may end up having to have someone online. Again, if you can't do it, try to get a guild member. Try to get someone in your social group to do it for you, and think of that in advance. Super important if you want to have something that could be a 10-year plus game, a lifetime game. It could be out for a long time. Ship missions will be one of the first things released. We're hoping for the first couple of weeks of this month. From there, not too sure. Gathering station construction, end of year, and I think January 1st for the GAO to be able to sell those. So let's see if I can find some of these tweets. There was a really cool one about, this was one of the FTX skins. There was a really cool one about the ships being on display in a Chinese one. So on the Chinese market, not market, but one of the displays for that. Now, I have seen quite a few tweets on the pets. I believe that they are going to be able to be repairing your ship. They're going to be possible to use outside of ships. They're going to be possible to sit into the seat of an NPC. So whether you get bonuses or not for that, I've heard different colors, brown and green. That's all I've heard from there. So that maybe it's to do with the skin. Maybe the skin gives them some kind of bonus, which would be super cool for the poster holders. I don't know whether pet skins are going to actually be for sale initially. So I don't know whether it's the poster holders only that are going to have those. But here we go. This is the one about the China mentions. So yeah, I think this may be this and possibly the names mentioned tomorrow. It was good for Star Atlas to give Solana a cool down. Obviously, Solana had a bit of struggle over the last couple of days. We had the grape launch Tuesday night. That was on Radium. Huge dramas, down for 8 odd hours. It's super important to understand what this is doing now and why it's actually a good event now. Solana's a beta blockchain, 400,000 TPS, and it crashed. Whether how specific the bots, what they were targeting, whether they were targeting Grape, Solana, there'll be, I'm not going to go down a whole conspiracy tree of it. It is a good result. They had something they would plan to add into the next update, hadn't been added yet, and we were down. We went down, but we came back. And you've got to keep in mind, as a layer one protocol, blockchain Solana, 50 to 65,000 transactions. That's not enough. We need to scale like any other blockchains. It's one of the quickest and most exciting blockchains at the moment. But if you've got 1 million users for Star Atlas, and then you've got all the rest of the DeFi and all the rest of the protocols and all those kinds of things, obviously this is a good result. It's, people are getting all worried about the money and all the fun shit comes out, and there's no real stress about that. There was one more tweet I wanted to find. The big C9, that is, isn't it? The big fighter ship. There was one more tweet which was a link towards Fabric of some kind. Something about Star Atlas and Fabric. But we have noticed that Star Atlas now have done the FTX, have done the Radium skins, two of the biggest things, obviously, for Solana. They will do into blockchain events. So this is really cool. From there, I think that's about all I really wanted to go over. I'm going to be putting this stuff out twice a week is my aim. I can't wait for mini gameplay. We've got so many exciting possibilities and options for people out there. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you, Mother, for the rabbits.